Hello, my name's Paul Ashdown. I'm the principal of the Sixth Form College in Solihull. You've probably heard that there are some really significant changes coming into the way A-levels are organised this year, and we wanted to explain how the college is going to deal with those and how we're going to make sure you get the best possible results out of the new setup. The biggest change to A-level coming in next year is that instead of having two one-year courses, the new A-levels are a single two-year course. You study for the full 2 years and then all your marks come from exams at the end of that 2-year period. In the past, of course, you did your AS exams at the end of the first year, got marks in the bank from them and added them to the marks you got for your A2s at the end of the second year. What that means in sort of practical learning terms is that you've got to revise a whole 2 years worth of material, make links between all the different topics you've done and pull that together at the end of 2 years. So it is a really significant change. Some schools and colleges have decided that they're still going to keep AS exams at the end of the first year, but because those marks don't actually count for anything other than a separate AS grade, they don't add to your final grade, we've decided that really wouldn't be a good use of students' time and effort. Because of the changes that are coming in and the increased depth of study that students are going to need to make, we've decided it's more sensible for most students to focus on 3 subjects right from the start and make sure they get the best possible grades in those 3 subjects, which is after all what most of the universities are going to look at the end. If you're a very confident student with a really strong academic foundation, we do think you might need to do 4 A-levels. You might want to do 4 A-levels if you're doing further maths or if you're planning to go for medicine or Cambridge or something like that. But you will need to have at least 5 A's or A-star grades at your GCSEs to have a really strong enough foundation to take on that 4 A-level programme. We've thought really carefully about how to manage this transition, and one of the decisions we've taken is to put more teaching time into each subject to help students approach this new way of studying confidently. It means teachers will have more time to go into things in depth and students will have more time to build up their knowledge as they go through the course. We think that'll help them get the best possible grades. When you get to the end of your 2 years, most students are using their A-levels to go into either employment or university, and universities normally ask for 3 grades. They don't ask for 4 grades. So we've made sure by contacting all our university contacts whether they would be happy with this approach, and all the feedback we've had is really positive. What the universities and employers want is the best possible 3 grades. There are a tiny number of courses where you might need to do a bit more, but they are covered by the ability to do the 4 subjects if you've got that strong GCSE base. We've looked at all the practical arrangements about making this new approach to study work, and we've taken some really quite imaginative and creative approaches to our timetable. We're going to have teaching starting at 9:30 in the morning instead of 8:30. And then students are going to have half-day sessions of either study or free time. There will be breaks built into those half-day study periods, but it'll allow teachers to develop sustained and in-depth learning, and at the same time students won't have some of the time trapped between lessons, which they don't always find very easy to use and sometimes get very frustrated by. So they'll know they've got solid half-day blocks of either study or independent time, and so we've also introduced more opportunities for them to get involved in enrichment activities, in volunteering, in work experience, in some of those longer periods of non-contact time, which will be much more useful to them. One of the slightly tricky things about this set of changes is that not all our subjects will be switching to the new format right away. Most subjects will be changing this September, but there are some which don't change until later. That means many students will be doing a mix and match between old style and new style approaches. There is absolutely no problem about that. Our timetables, our structures, everything is set up to manage that. So really students don't need to worry about that when they're choosing their different subjects. We still think that all students should really think of doing 3 subjects rather than 4, unless they're taking on the high flyer programme of the 4 A levels. The same rules are going to apply to everybody. Of course, the college doesn't only offer A-levels. We also have a really exciting set of BTech courses, which are getting stronger and stronger in terms of getting people to university. This year, actually, something like 65 to 70% of the students doing BTech went off to university, so they're really fantastic courses. They are changing a bit as well. There are going to be less opportunities to resit your work, to rework your work, and those really bring BTECs into line with some of the coursework rules that students will already have had at school. So it's not a big deal, but BTECs are changing. We still think they're a really fantastic option. And if you're particularly worried about the fact that all your assessment is going to hang on exams at the end of a 2-year course, BTECs are really worth thinking about, because essentially you're still able to build up your marks through coursework that you do over the 2 years of the course. Every school and college in the country is facing this set of changes, and every school and college has looked at how to do it and developed their own ideas about what is the right way to do it in their particular context. As a real specialist in post-16 education, we've thought long and hard about this. It is our meat and drink, it's all we do. And we're absolutely certain that we've got a set of arrangements that will help students get the best possible grades at the end of 2 years. Obviously, other people might do different things. Some people might ask you to carry on with 4 subjects. Some schools and colleges will ask you to do AS levels at the end of the first year. All our proposals are based on making sure our students have the best possible chance of getting top grades. That's what this is about, and that's what we're going to stick with. We think it'll help students the way we've set things up, and that's what we're for. We've taken you through all the different changes that are happening to A-levels and the way the college is going to respond to them next year. It just remains for me to say best of luck for your GCSEs. Obviously, getting the strongest possible set of grades you can is the best way to start with us. So good luck for the summer. We'll see you then.